Everyday carry is all about arming oneself with items that afford utility and preparedness for taking on the daily grind. This means utilizing gear that's small and pocketable enough to comfortably be carried day in and day out, yet large enough to actually be functional. The concept of an Altoids EDC kit takes the entire notion of everyday carry to its logical conclusion by filling one of the small tins up with a complete EDC loadout, replacing everything normally carried in your pockets with an ultra-compact grab-and-go kit, all contained in a readily available tin. While this idea is heavily inspired by survival tins, our Altoids EDC kit was assembled for general everyday carry use, and as such features gear for regular use rather than being filled with iodine tablets, fishing hooks, a signaling mirror, and so on. Despite only having a roughly 3.5 by 2.5 by 1 inch vessel to work with, translating to about 7 square inches in total, we've managed to assemble a complete daily carry loadout capable of providing real utility. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the tin itself, we've opted to use Countycom's second generation industrial strength survival food grade tin rather than a standard Altoids tin. This decision was made for several reasons. Crafted from a higher quality food grade steel, Countycom's tin sports nearly identical dimensions to an Altoids tin, though is slightly deeper, providing just a tad more storage space. We found that we were nearly able to get an Altoids tin to close when filled up with our preferred EDC items, so this teeny tiny bit of added volume actually makes a big difference in practice, as it allows the thing to fully latch shut. Measuring 3.7 inches by 2.3 inches by 0.8 inches and weighing less than 2 ounces, the tin has thicker walls than a standard Altoids vessel, plus its top's slip-lock latch assembly not only closes better and more securely, but the top of the tin also comes adorned in a topo pattern that we thoroughly dig. The size of the tin makes it a perfect alternative to carrying traditional EDC loadouts in situations where carrying your regular gear isn't really an option. For instance, if you're wearing a suit to a wedding, chances are you won't be equipping yourself with a flashlight, lighter, knife, multi-tool, and so on, but you can still easily slip one of these tins full of gear in your pocket, and you've now got a full, albeit streamlined, everyday carry loadout. Its compact size also makes it perfect for tossing in a desk drawer, center console, or glove compartment as a backup EDC stash. As bona fide EDC nerds, we also thoroughly appreciate the fact that Countycom actually makes a custom Kydex sheath specifically for this tin. For those looking for a bit more storage space, the company also produces a larger yet still pocketable version of the tin that offers nearly twice the internal storage volume at roughly 13 cubic inches versus the model we chose as 7. The Gerber Dime presents a much smaller alternative to traditional butterfly opening multi-tools while offering damn near the same level of functionality. Armed with 10 tools in total, the Dime comes loaded with spring-loaded pliers, needle nose pliers, a wire cutter, a sheep's foot blade, a retail package opener, sack-style scissors, small and medium flathead drivers, a bottle opener, removable tweezers, and a metal file. Its stainless steel construction makes for a rugged multi-tool that can still be sold at an affordable price, and the entire thing tips the scales at just 2.2 ounces too. It's really impressive just how functional the Dime is despite only spanning 2.75 inches in total when closed. The entire suite of tools is also pretty sensible, as the Dime features functions that legitimately lend themselves to real-world everyday carry use rather than consisting of functions like tent stake pullers or other obscure tools. The pliers are also just thick enough to the point where I feel comfortable deploying them for hard-use tasks such as nail pulling or even some light prying. The Dime is still fairly small even when opened, though its roughly 2.75 inch handle provides just enough surface area to achieve a firm grip. I also love how the bottle opener is built into the frame and left exposed even when the tool is closed, granting easy access to what's almost certainly its most commonly utilized tool. The suite of tools is non-locking, though the Dime's construction is stiff enough that I've never found this to be much of an issue. Though I do have access to a wealth of full and keychain-sized multi-tools, the Gerber Dime remains my go-to choice for EDC, which frankly should speak volumes about its overall quality and performance and just how much functionality it offers. It also provides pretty incredible bang for your buck, and that's before even considering the fact the Dime comes backed by the Gerber Guarantee, which is basically just their version of a lifetime warranty. For the next piece of gear in our tin, we've opted for Tech Accessories Python clip. Spanning just 1.1 inches overall, this mini clip uses a 303 stainless steel construction for both the clip itself and its gate. It's a much smaller alternative to normal carabiners and clips, though performs the same basic function and provides the same level of security for your keys. I found the Python clip works best in one of a few different scenarios. First off, it makes for a stellar keyring decoupler, as you can mount items like car key fobs onto a normal keyring using the Python clip, and then easily remove it from the main keyring by simply unclipping it. I also noticed that with the keyring on a belt loop, I could very easily clip the mini EDC item onto my pants just as I would with a full-size carabiner. On top of just being sturdy and well-crafted in general, this key clip also boasts a few features that you wouldn't normally expect to find on such a tiny item, including a gate guard, a polished finish, and a surprisingly strong and sturdy gate. The much smaller size also means that this clip doesn't result in your keys dangling down or swinging around as much as they would when clipped to a normal keychain or carabiner. Weighing in at less than 1/10 of an ounce, this item is also offered in a blacked out version with a chromium carbide ceramic compound coating. And, though it's incredibly small, it's still big enough that it's fairly easy to use and manipulate. The trio of milled out holes on the clip don't actually provide any function or utility, but they nonetheless jazz it up a bit and bring some extra style points to the table. And, while I'm honestly unsure of what the clip's weight capacity is, I did clip the Python onto a fully loaded backpack and had no problem lifting the entire thing off the ground, proving it's able to support at least 15 pounds, if not twice that. Based on how integral our modern devices have become in our lives, keeping your phone, tech, and other gadgets juiced up at all times is more essential now than ever before. And while you could choose to carry multiple full-sized cords, Rolling Square's inCharge Mini presents a much more streamlined alternative without skimping on functionality or, more importantly, compatibility. The Rolling Square inCharge Mini is touted by its manufacturer as being the world's smallest cable. And if we're being completely honest, we haven't actually checked every other cable on the planet in order to confirm this claim, but we can vouch to the fact that it's not only tiny, but also highly functional. The thing is comprised of two heads, a USB-C and regular USB, with zinc aluminum alloy housings that are mated together via a piece of braided cable. The front of the USB head can slide forward and pivot down, exposing an underlying USB-C plug, while the opposite end can slide and pivot, revealing a lightning connection. MFI certified, it offers charging speeds of up to 18 watts, plus can transfer data at up to 480 megabytes per second. The inside face of both main heads also feature embedded N52 neodymium magnets that can couple together when the item isn't in use. You can also place a keyring or carabiner in between the two heads, then magnetically couple them, allowing the inCharge Mini to serve as a keychain. My favorite aspect of the inCharge Mini is just how much utility and functionality it manages to cram into such a tiny footprint. With the combination of USB, USB-C, and Lightning connections, it's compatible with the vast majority of tech and devices. I was also pleasantly surprised by just how premium the thing is, between the braided cables, zinc alloy housings, and neodymium magnets. What's more, its material selection is also fairly top shelf, and even the build quality is super on point, with the head smoothly yet firmly sliding and pivoting. This is made all the more impressive by the fact that it costs just $20. In today's largely digital age, the written word has largely gravitated towards screens, though there's still definitely something to be said for good old-fashioned notebooks. As one of the few EDC notebooks actually small enough to fit inside an Altoids tin, Rite and the Rain's pint-sized on-the-go notebooks were an obvious choice for this loadout. Though they're substantially smaller than RITR's normal notebooks and binders, the on-the-go books maintain the signature properties that have made this company's notebook so popular to begin with. Each notebook contains 24 pages of Rite and the Rain's number 20 coated all-weather paper, all of which comes sandwiched between a cover made from the brand's proprietary weatherproof FieldFlex construction. The whole thing is pieced together using a rust-resistant stapled binding as well. Spanning just 3.375 inches by 2 inches, these notebooks are roughly the same size as your average credit card, meaning the on-the-go notebooks can just as easily be slipped into the card slot of a wallet or the coin pocket of a pair of pants. The top of each mini page also has tear-off perforations that make it super easy to cleanly remove a sheet that you've already written on. Sold in packs of 6, these notebooks aren't just weather resistant, they're full-on waterproof, and can even be written on when wet. Hell, you can even leave one of these notebooks in your pant pocket, have it run through the washing machine, and it'll still be completely fine after. This is made possible thanks to the paper's coating and construction, and while some coated pages are notoriously difficult to write on, this just isn't the case with the mini on-the-go notebooks. There's no point in carrying an EDC notebook if you aren't also armed with a writing instrument, which is why we've opted to pair our Altoids EDC Tins notebook with Flytanium's ridiculously cool titanium mini bolt-action pen. The thing clocks in at 3¼ inches in length and 1/5 of an inch in diameter. These dimensions make it just long enough to actually get a decent grip on the thing. It's also surprisingly well balanced and fairly comfortable to use even for extended periods. That is to say, it's not just a novelty item by any means. It really is a fully functional bolt-action pen. Using a tried and true mini D1 ballpoint cartridge, the ink is deployed via a spring-loaded bolt-action mechanism that's both easy to use and incredibly fidget-friendly. Inside, the pen is incredibly simple, consisting of an ink cartridge, an O-ring, and just 2 springs. This makes swapping out refills a breeze. This mini bolt-action's pen design has also been brought to life in top-shelf TC4 titanium. The top of the pen is also capped off with a keyring loop, allowing it to be carried on a keychain. Weighing only 0.13 ounces, the pen also ships with an included titanium keyring, several spare O-rings, and a trio of ink refills, plus Flytanium sells extra spare refills on its site. With a sub $20 MSRP, it also offers pretty incredible bang for your buck too. And while it doesn't actually impact the pen's performance or user experience in any capacity, I nonetheless really dig the fact that it happens to be made by one of the most eminent aftermarket knife upgrade manufacturers currently out there. Though it's admittedly more of a supplementary item than a bona fide EDC essential, we're still big fans of carrying a proper stash capsule like this item from Dango. The Dango Capsule stands at just half an inch tall and measures 0.85 inches in diameter. Made in America, the thing is precision machined from aircraft grade 6061 aluminum before being fortified via an anodized finish. The main body pairs with a screw-down quad-loop secure cap that can be fitted with a paracord lanyard or large keyring. Thanks to ultra-tight tolerances, the capsule's threading also makes it ridiculously waterproof. The thing can even be submerged down to 1,000 feet without letting in a single drop. Between that and its size, Dango's capsule is perfect for housing pills and medications and makes for a great vessel for stashing a few emergency bills. And, while it's purely subjective, we think the Dango capsule just sports a really attractive and eye-catching design, with its quad-loop secure cap, milled-in Dango logo, and trio of machined lines at its base. What's more, in addition to selling a titanium construction version, Dango also provides the option of upgrading this item with a Cobra Weave 95 double loop lanyard that makes it much easier to fish out of a pocket, though this admittedly doesn't really apply to Altoid tin carrying. The SSK 1TB USB drive is, well, exactly what it sounds like, a 1TB thumb drive. That's not all though, as this second generation solid-state drive features dual connections with a USB plug on one side and a USB-C on the other, the former of which is protected beneath a removable magnetically coupling cap, while the latter is fortified via a flip-up cover. Unlike most thumb drives that are crafted from cheap plastic, SSK's 1TB item features a shell crafted from zinc alloy, yet it still weighs just 1.75 ounces. More importantly, on top of boasting a full terabyte of storage space, this device is also able to achieve 200 megabytes per second transfer speeds on its USB end, and an even more impressive 1000 megabytes per second on its USB-C end, which translates to speeds of 1 gig per second. That's a whopping 10 times faster than traditional USB 3.0 flash drives. Compatible with both smartphones and computers, and both Apple, Android, and Windows, this solid-state drive also ships with a snap-secured leather carrying sleeve with an attached keyring. The Maratac Split Pea Gen 2 is a pint-sized soft flame lighter that's crafted from rugged yet lightweight grade 5 titanium. The lighter sports a cylindrical design with the main body with a screw-down top that twists off to reveal the split pea's flint wheel and wick. Thanks to this threaded cap, the lighter offers a watertight seal, which also makes it great for outdoor and survival use. The top also sports a keyring attachment, while the bottom of the lighter has been decorated in a laser-etched CountyCom Trident logo. A small and subtle detail, though one we thoroughly appreciate nonetheless. Despite its diminutive size, it's no harder to use this than any other full-sized lighter. In many ways, this thing functions just like a standard Zippo. It has a flint strike wheel and wick sitting above a piece of flint that's driven up by a spring, and a cotton-stuffed fuel housing to absorb lighter fluid. Replacing the flint or wick or replenishing its fuel is as easy as opening the lighter, sliding out the insert, flipping it upside down, and from there you got access to everything you need. Again, just like a Zippo. Because of its tiny size, the second-gen Split Pea lighter can't house all that much lighter fluid, though it is pretty easy to refill, and Maratac also sells the same lighter in 2 larger sizes. We also love that, unlike your standard Zippo, the Gen 2 Split Pea ships with a bevy of spares with a second wick, a spare O-ring, and 3 additional flints. For our Altoid tin loadout's flashlight, we've chosen Olight's imini Tiny 2. Spanning only 2.17 inches in length and just over half an inch in diameter, this light features a body that's crafted from rugged aerospace-grade aluminum with a knurled grip pattern and an anodized finish. Despite its tiny size, it's also surprisingly rugged with an IPX6 rating and a 1.5 meter drop test rating. Unlike the original, which was powered by 3 LR41 button cells, the tail of the second generation version comes outfitted with an integrated USB plug that allows it to plug directly into a standard USB port. And while the original imini Tiny has a 10 lumen output, the V2 is 5 times as potent, with 50 lumens on tap. Its beam distance also reaches nearly 70 feet. One of the coolest aspects of this mini EDC torch is how it operates. Instead of using a switch or a twist head design, the imini Tiny 2 features a main body that magnetically couples to a keyring-equipped tail cap. By simply removing the body from the tail cap, the light automatically activates. This makes for one of the most effortless and easiest flashlight experiences out there. Moving on. Inside the light is a single 80 mAh lithium battery that affords a full hour of burn time per charge. And with its integrated USB plug, charging it couldn't be easier. With a $20 price tag, this is another mini EDC item that affords pretty terrific value. And it probably goes without saying, but the imini Tiny 2 also makes for an absolutely stellar keychain light. So, there you have it. A fully functional, complete everyday carry kit requiring just 7 cubic inches of real estate. While the gear featured in this video was selected to suit our personal needs, the tin's use cases will definitely vary from person to person. So, if you've got a recommendation for an item you'd carry, or an item you think we should have included, be sure to shout it out in the comments. As always, thanks for rocking with us. We'll be back next week with another new video, and until then, stay sharp and stay safe out there.